What happened last time, Rod?
Well, what happened last time was a couple of events, we'll say, as we made our way past the in between in the safety of the upper floor. In the distance, we saw the great piano, essentially, and are making plans to go there to, as our wonderful guide would say, to make money and scam people as best we can, and to get the fuck out of Dodge before anyone notices, essentially, as we need to coin to go to our next destination, essentially. We didn't get really too far before we were surrounded by Fae in uniform of red and blue color, I believe, as well, seemingly not in the mood to be nice. And as Hakan tried to reassure us a bit, saying that he will go talk with them, maybe get this all taken care of, as he went out and spoke with them. And as we saw in the distance, he immediately got hit in the side of the head and knocked out. As it seems these Fae weren't in the mood for negotiations or a peaceful resolution, demanding that we get the fuck out and they'll take everything that we own, essentially. Usana, trying to keep things calm, agreed, seeing that there's not much we can really do with the weapons and over their ability to overpower us, turned to get everyone out the cart, including her daughter, before not too long. Apparently, I believe wasps or some such came to attack, causing panic and confusion as the cart that with Monty and her daughter there uh, started tumbling, basically. And well, Dusana didn't have time to get out or grab her before we all fell and woke up in a bit of a daze. As Hakan was able to get the daze Dusana onto Monty and get her out of there, but sadly, Carmen and Hakan had to stay behind. And for Kalita and Francesca, they had to make a run for it once the whole chaos started, as everyone started doing shootings and trying to do firefights to keep themselves safe, since we were a bit separated. Dusana was heavily injured when the other two found her. Well, Francesca found her first and decided to stay behind. Hopefully, they go back and find some way to figure out what happened to Hakan and Carmen, as she was left with Monty, essentially. No one else really to take care of that situation. They went back, didn't find much other than tracks pointing to the fact they may have been taken with their bandits or possibly someone else, who knows for sure, but they're gone. And while Dusana was by herself recovering, this someone descended upon other Fae as well, though this one a bit of a nicer variety, as Valeria, I believe the major, known as the Black Swan, seemed willing to help and send her men to go check it out, as they were chasing something else as well. And eventually, we all came together with the military as they took us to their base for questioning and see what help us with our injuries as well. More likely, realizing that we didn't really cross the border on the proper channels, essentially, and threatening us with that as well. Though offering to keep an eye out for Carmen and our other companion Hakan, as well as try to find the people who did this, as they have been bandits who've been plaguing the land, and this is a problem they've been dealing with, and they will do their duty and job as well. But we can't stay in this camp, and they're going to take Monty. For reasons everyone needs a nice little mouse, essentially, a rat, mouse, whatever you want to call them. As we were all left in the city, no coin, no hope, and no place to sleep. Dusana and Francesca seemed, well, it wasn't a great position to be in, but prepared to do what we need to survive. It wasn't the first shitty place we've been in, but as we discussed about what ditch to sleep in, before Kalita was mentioning that maybe we could find help. Maybe someone willing to help us out, which of course the two Slua were very skeptical about, but she seemed to be very adamant. And as we were discussing what to do, as we were trying to reassure her, or Dusana was trying to reassure her, in comparison to Francesca, someone did notice us and offer a hand. A young man who seemed to be in a bit poor straits, Jean-Luc LeBlanc, as he introduced himself, took us to his home, not in the best condition, offered us as much as he could, food and all the small resources he has, and we stayed the night at his place and came to a realization about him not too long ago, as he seemed to be admiring Francesca's abilities and asked if she could train him, eagerly so, as she seemed to want to be a warrior of such. And at least in the eyes of the Slua, he seemed to be a man who, loved fairy tales. As things warned, it seemed he also didn't really take care of himself that well, as it was pretty obvious that he's being taken advantage of by those who took his kindness for granted. He didn't seem to see it, that he gave up everything he owned in an act of being this warrior or such, as we watched him be humiliated and put himself in humiliating situations, work himself to the bone for basically pennies, and people dismiss him, laugh at him, and those who knew him tried to help as best they can. The tavern owner who wouldn't help us, hired us all because he had him working for free and gave him scraps of nothing, basically. We went to check out our wounds. The alchemist asked to make sure we keep an eye on him, as she told us a bit more to Francesca at the very least, that he was an orphan. Parents killed not too long ago and been by himself. People have been trying to take care of him, but he seems to be set in his ways, no matter how much they try to do as best they can. And when Dusana mentioned that she needed a doctor's bag, and maybe we'll try to get her a coin for that, John Luke went off to go get that for him, as he had connections with someone, having Francesca go with, as we were very worried about what he was saying, as he made it to some fancy nobleman's house who, well, was more than willing to give him the coin or the doctor's bag in exchange for what they usually do, where he tries to fight him with a sword while John Luke had a stick weapon, essentially. Though, as that horrible, I don't even know what you want to call it, entertaining situation for the nobles around, laughing as he was trying to cut this young lad, Francesca was able to tell that it seemed John Luke had far superior skills than she realized, as he was able to masterfully dodge and ensure any cut damage would be mitigated to its best degree, essentially controlling the battlefield. So they still seemed to get their entertainment while he survived the whole thing and left with many kinds of bruises, but with a doctor's bag, and went back home as well. It was not a fuss, but healed him up, and we decided what to do next, essentially, and how to earn coin, because we can't just slave off of John Luke's small meagers earnings at that. And he had someone in mind. His teacher, the old man, who is literally just called old man, might be of use to us, as he took us to a secluded manor, a man who seemed to be grumpy to have anyone there and was highly suspicious of us, and he vouched for us on his honor, asking that he give us coin, and we can get a chance to take care of ourselves. And when the man said yes, but he of course gives a suspicious speech and threatened our lives, as he should, about if we dismiss this young lad's honor, he will have our hides. And well, while they went off to train in their weird contraption of just getting his ass beat, as Francesca was able to see, we cleaned and did cooking, and well, Kalita decided to stoop around. Well, we all did, but she was the one who found something more interesting. Under the bed was a locked box, apparently, or chest. As she opened it and saw inside was a military uniform, of an old one at that. And before she could go inquire further, our guest noticed and was very not happy about this, telling us to get the fuck out and leave the town, even to offer us coin, though Dusana turned it down, as she was waiting for her daughter, and she refused to leave, not until she knew she was safe and she was with her again. And he then said, well, we're going to stay in this house, and we can't fucking leave until this shit is taken care of, apparently, and stormed off. John Luke was concerned and confused, but Kalita explained what she found, and he seemed upset that, well, this man who's been teaching him about being a true warrior and things like that, and all these creeds that he's been pushing for John Luke, that he seems to not really put to his own task. That hiding secrets, it seems to be cowardly, at least for something like this. And he turned around to go confront him. And I think that's where it ended last. John Luke on his way to confront his mentor, and us trying to stop him, but probably not, more likely not succeeding.
So, as few people are having shenanigans in town, Carmen, as the cart sort of tumbles, you just you kind of open your eyes. You feel very dizzy. Your head hurts like it never has hurt before, as you feel like someone sort of dragging you out, and as you can see through your blurred vision, is Hakan sort of trying to get you out.
I mean, if I'm conscious and able to, I'll try and help him instead of just being dead weight.
Yeah, it's hard to maintain your balance, but you can stumble out of the upside down cart now, as the wagon has been truly smashed to bits. As you can hear, like the hornets just descending upon and having a fight with bandits. Sakan says, "We need to get out of here quietly and without drawing too much attention." You can do that, right?
Yeah, I could do that.
As you two will attempt to sneak away. Why don't you give
Boy,
me?
when you put pressure on me, I'm gonna do poorly.
Why don't you give me an illusion? One critical.
What's the difference between reroll and free reroll?
Free roll, basically is just better. Is it like keeps
Oh,
dice?
thank God.
A normal reroll, you have the chance to lose success if you
Yeah.
don't get any additional ones.
Yeah. So well, I mean, listen, you still were banged up, so. Do you see your characters? Right.
I do. Yeah.
Are in fact.
See what?
Your character sheets.
Oh,
I
yes.
moved
Focus
them
on your
around.
folders now.
You have the condition. But yeah, you managed to quickly and quietly follow him out as the bandits are still fighting, and you will just have to sort of make your way into the wilderness. As you can see, the entire it's this almost like forest that expands in the distance, full of mushrooms and other weird things you don't really know what they are. You haven't seen it before. Nor have you seen these like flying creatures. That you see one just kind of skewer one of the bandits with its needle through the chest. As the man just screams, as blood kind of gushes out, as Hakan just sort of guides you away. Both quickly move, putting some distances, as eventually the gunfire and the screams will cease. But at that point, you've been away for a bit, as he sort of takes a deep breath and looks at you and says, "Hey, how hurt are you?"
Well, I don't feel great. But, I don't know. I think I can move. Who were those people?
I had to guess. Not normal bandits, so judging by their uniform, I think they might have been rebels. A few years ago, my dad told me about these people. As like you two are still like walking away, he says. There was the Tsarina issued an edict declaring all household folk to be equals. And some fairies didn't take that very well. Especially with the war and all. So they started a rebellion of the cities here nearby. Killing all of the non-fairies. And then, well, engaging the military, eventually losing. But, well, ideas don't die out so fast.
So they attacked us because we're not fairies?
Maybe as a pretext. They really attacked us to steal our stuff.
I could understand a little bit more, but Mom and Kalita and Francesca got out okay, right?
Well, I didn't spot Uh, and I saw two of them running away, and I put your mom on Monty and got her out. They should be
Good.
fine, hopefully. But
So now what?
we need to hide a bit, because unlike them, we can't fly. So we do once they're done fighting, we will be at a disadvantage again. We need
Right.
to
So
hide and double back, and eventually go back to the cart. There's something in the
Yeah.
wagon that I really need back.
I think I left my toolbox too. Although I don't know if I could fix the cart.
It's not. I'll be honest. I don't care about the cart more than I cared about the things inside.
Was it that weapon that you showed me? That
No,
heirloom?
it's
Okay. So just stay low until they leave?
hopefully they'll have to. They won't have time to thoroughly search that thing. So yeah, we'll sort of double back. As you put some more distance and kind of hide a bit. As eventually, yeah, you'll see them actually flying up above, sort of making their way away. And at that point, Hakan will indicate for you to start heading back. As this entire thing probably would take a couple of hours total. But by the time you return, the cart does look like it has been looted completely, as just Hakan looks absolutely devastated. But if you had money on your character sheet, it's gone.
No, I didn't have any
Okay.
money. That's the pros of being poor. They can't take what you don't have. Carbon will kind of like poke around to help Hakan look.
For the time being, your
Damn.
toolbox is unavailable to you.
Yeah, these guys were thorough.
Yeah, they cleaned up the cart. Pretty much took any medical supplies, any engineering. Like they're scavengers. They know what to look for. Might act noble, but they're not. But yeah, he just sort of acts like sits down and is just all the fight has left him.
Carmen will sit down next to him. You okay?
I'm alive, so I guess I should count my blessings.
You didn't get hurt at all, did you?
Fine. Lucky, I guess.
Good. Both of us were hurt. That'd be a bit more difficult. If we can find where the others went, my mom might have, I don't know, some supplies to help.
Yeah. Right, let's try and... the closest city is from here is Mont Gunol, so... Might as well make our way there.
Alright. Do you think those rebels would be, I don't know, based somewhere nearby?
He points at the region sort of expanding out to the east. As like that was the direction you kind of head in, but it's a large, looks like a mushroom forest covered in some, you're not really sure, like some yellow goop, creating a very interesting effect, as he says, waxy small. It's a large region dominated by, well, you saw the flying bugs.
Yeah. Those are
Yeah,
weird.
not the nicest places, but that's probably where they're hiding out in. It's hard to patrol, very dangerous to navigate.
So going in to get our stuff back is probably a no.
Well, I'm not saying no right now, but I think we should find your mom first.
We'll get your weapon back.
Listen, I'm gonna chuckle. It's not as important. Just find everyone, make sure everyone's fine, and we'll get back all our stuff.
Yeah, we can do that. How hard is it going to be to find a very large mouse?
Hopefully they don't know anything weird about him.
No, why would they? Monty's perfect.
Wow, was that paint job that bad?
It's not the best, considering his tail is a little bare.
He
And
kind
he's
of.
huge.
It's not. He's not that much bigger than a normal mouse.
He's a little bit bigger than a normal mouse.
God, he has been getting older.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being a little bit bigger than people expect you to be. He's fine.
Yeah, except when they'll realize he's an actual rat and they'll skewer him.
I'm sure that's not going to happen. We'll find him. And we'll make sure that it doesn't happen. We've got a spider. I mean, I feel like that's more of a concern to them than a possible rat.
We can hide. Anyways. Yeah, he'll get up and gesture for the large mountain in the distance, the south. Well, off we go then.
All right. Is it gonna be like a long journey?
Satya says, well, should get there. Couple of hours, hopefully. Problem is, well, hopefully they've been keeping themselves out of trouble. Mount Kinol, not like the worst city, but well, let's just say that the rebellion left a bit of a sour note on people. I don't think we'll be much welcome though.
Well, one way to find out, I guess. I mean, they've got Mom, so she's usually pretty level-headed and nice. They also have Francesca. I don't know about Kalita. I don't know how she does in situations like this.
Yes, I also trust her mom and Francesca. I'll remind you though that Kalita did just get flushed away in a box.
Right. I mean, that's not a great track record so far. But I'm going to choose to give her the benefit of the doubt. So it's going to level out to just, neutral.
That's true. How many powerful swordsman clad in dark armor can she piss off in a single year?
Venture out and say probably not a lot. I personally haven't seen a lot of powerful swordsmen with dark armor.
You've been literally traveling with.
What, am I not
Stopped.
allowed to base my guesses off my personal experience?
She just sort of looks at it and says, "You do realize you've been traveling with Francesca for the last several weeks, right?"
Yeah, I said I haven't seen a lot.
Ah. Oh,
I didn't say I've never seen.
okay. Fair point, I guess. As you sort of eventually manage to arrive, as people at the customs will just kind of look at both of you, but like suspiciously. As not only are you Slua, you look like you've seen better days.
Yep.
As Hakan will try and explain a bit of your situation, as the guards will escort you not into the city, but into the military encampment. As you are left in a room alone. Oh, they're not killing us, so I guess we should look at the bright side, right? Come on, be optimistic with me here.
Yeah, I much prefer this to being killed. And these aren't rebels, right? These are like actual soldiers.
The military, they have like their uniform coloring is very similar to what the rebels had, but yeah, I mean they are part of the look like they're part of the official military. As eventually you see this lady walking into the room, a tall and imposing figure, donned in like black and red colored armor, as her like medals and embroidery signify the higher status than most of these soldiers. The one eye patch sort of indicating wounds of a war fought long ago. As she sits down and sort of looks at the two of you with a rather sort of stoic look, but clearly inspecting you before speaking. My men tell me you were attacked on the road. As Sakan just kind of nods. And she will begin to ask both of you a couple of questions about the attack, about the people who attacked you. And after, presumably you don't lie, so...
No, I mean, I don't feel like I have a reason to.
After going through that, she is gonna sort of call out as a soldier walks in and says, well, you have a choice. You, as she looks at you, Carmen, you're free to go.
Mm-hmm. Just me?
Yes.
Wait, why?
Akana is also looking confused as she says, you've been cleared of suspicion. You, though, not so fast.
Wait, hold on. Why is he suspicious and I'm not?
She gestures for a hand as the guard sort of kind of comes up behind you to escort you out.
Wait, hold on.
Dan's like, okay, cooperate with them, and I will clear this situation as soon as possible.
Fine. Can I see if he actually believes what he's saying?
Yes, you can give me an insight roll. 2 basic. He he knows why he's being held back, and it's you don't think this is related to this incident, but he also does believe that eventually he'll be able to like swindle his way out.
Okay.
He's not like he
Then-
doesn't think you're in any danger, but he just kind of wants you away so you're not involved in whatever business he's about to conduct with this lady.
Okay, fine. I'll be grumpy, but I'll leave.
As the guard will just kind of escort you out of the military encampment and just kind of say, there were a couple of others like you came in here last day.
A couple of others? Like who?
Other people that were in the attack. I believe they might have ventured higher up into the...
That's great. Hold on, I have multiple questions. Where exactly? Do you know where they went?
No.
Okay. Do you know how long that's gonna take? She kind of just points back to the room that they were in.
He looks just as confused as you. But he's like trying to like not be like actually, ma'am, I don't know why he's being held up. We have no reason to like arrest you. This is in fact highly illegal. No, it's like, the major must have her reasons. Listen, if I feel kind of bad to leave you out on the street. So, if you want, you can wait here until your friend is done with questioning, and we'll give you a room and some food. Also, you can have someone take a look at your injuries.
You would? Yeah, that sounds great. Hopefully the others don't wander too far, but I'd rather stay here.
This is the only way out of the city unless they descend down the mountainside, but that seems highly unnecessary.
That doesn't sound like them.
Yeah, and this man, by the way, his uniform is also has the same color scheme as the woman, sort of red and black, and it differentiates from most of the other people here who have to keep to the red and blue. As yeah, he's not gonna take you to where a lot of the soldiers. He's gonna take you to a separate building, as there's a couple of other people dressed in a similar fashion to him, and they don't seem to pay you that much mind. He'll kind of go to one, kind of exchange a few words before leading you off to a separate room. As he says, "Well, this was should to do. This was me and my colleague's room, but you can have it for a day or two. That should be fine." We called in for the doctor and requisitioned a meal from the quartermaster.
Armin looks confused at like how to respond to people being very nice when she wasn't expecting it, but thank you. You're giving me your room?
Yes. There's not that much space here, and I think you would be more comfortable alone.
Yeah, I think so.
He kind of like politely smiles. Oh,
Thanks.
no worries. The doctor should be in here soon, and I'll bring you the food myself.
Right. Okay.
Should just give this guy a character picture at this point. He's been helping so many of you.
Good lieutenant, the nice cop. We got bad cop and good cop.
You gotta have a good cup.
Yeah, this is the nice lieutenant underling, the right hand.
But yeah, eventually, the camp medic would arrive and start treating. So you can remove the hurt condition as a sort of
Yay.
a couple of patches, give you some medicine, and just kind of tell you that you need some rest. As I see, the problem is I need like a good natured looking individual, and all I can see is edgelords.
Didn't you have this problem last time?
I did.
From what I heard.
Yes,
This is
I
what
did.
Red's Pinterest is for, you see.
What do you
That's
need?
true.
What do you need, Grunt? I can
Um,
look through the inventory.
I need like a good natured soldier individual.
Good nature soldiers. I have the right idea. I think I
Bonus
have
points
someone.
if he has the black and red color scheme. So
You're right,
Oh,
Grunt,
okay.
Grunt, I have one right here. Let me repost him. This guy looks nice.
Are you in my Pinterest right now, Mac?
I'm
Why do I feel
reposting
do
like
this-
it doesn't look nice
do
based on your
this and-
tone?
oh, fuck off.
this guy. I'm sorry, that's my university access password. Oops.
What the
Thank
fuck?
you.
Alright, give me a second. It was the first one I found. Damn.
Okay,
You
and
said red and black. So...
in silence, I will, But after that, the soldier comes back with like a plate of food, puts it down on the table. So, let me know if you need anything. I should be stationed here for a while, so we should be leaving though tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. But even if we leave, I'll leave orders with the other soldiers.
I guess I wasn't expecting it to take about that long, but I'll.
Well, I don't know what your first. Are they like your family?
Yeah. One of them is my mom.
Like nods. And what about the rest? There we had 3 people.
Francesca's like a family friend, and I guess Kalita's become an adoptive daughter for my mom as well.
He like looks a bit confused, but like nods and says, okay. Well, I'm not sure how long they're gonna take. How long they're gonna take, but he kind of like looks a bit sort of. Listen, I don't. I'll be very frank with you. I don't know why the major is holding your friend in. But like he shouldn't be kept more than half the day. By tomorrow, I'll make sure that he's like let go. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'd appreciate it.
He nods. Well, like I said, let me know if you need anything.
I should be good. She's thinking like I'm gonna be so fucking bored. No, I'll be okay.
Listen, you can say something. There's an entire camp full of interesting things happening.
I can go eavesdrop on people. I'm sure that's not gonna go poorly in a military camp.
Yeah. Then gonna take his leave. Probably gonna bring you like another meal later in the evening, as Khan still hasn't been cleared. God knows why. As we will cut to the other crew. As I believe the last thing you saw was Jean heading towards his master's room to have a shouting match.
Yeah, we I think we tried to stop him
Yeah,
and
we
he
tried
just,
and
like,
failed. We tried and failed.
shook it
Yeah.
off. I don't know if we can try again, but I don't think it's gonna work out.
No, yeah, we don't try
Yeah,
and
no,
fail.
you
Yeah.
saw the door close as he begins an intense discussion. And unless you would like to press your ear against the door, you're not going to be able to distinguish much.
Well,
No.
it's been delightful.
Mm-hmm. So either. Do you think we're gonna die now?
I would hope not. At the very least, he seemed adamant that we shouldn't leave. I guess he doesn't want us getting his secret out, whatever that may be.
If you wanted to kill, if you wanted to attack, you would have already attacked.
Well, I've made dinner regardless, so hopefully they don't take too long about this chat of theirs. Be a waste of a perfectly good meal.
That's true. I mean, I am starving.
Can you tell me any details about this uniform you found? Anything at all?
She would describe to you what she saw in the medals. I mean, nothing else.
But I know, I don't think we know about the ace thing because that was something we talked about outside of character. Would
I
it
think,
would
you rolled, and I think
Yeah.
yeah, that's
move
right.
on.
Thank you. My question was like, could Dusana roll to see if she knows anything about the medals or what rank that could exist in, or is that
Yes.
too okay? Cultural.
Could I also roll culture maybe because if I was, I'm like guessing basically.
I would say 1 critical.
One crit. Okay. Let's see if I get lucky.
Francesca's big brain will get to work. Oh no, mind. It wasn't even necessary.
Okay. Okay.
Well,
I rolled twice, right? Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I
I'll
never
assume
roll.
Vanessa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dusana did.
Yeah. Those were a lot of interesting medals. You can imagine this guy wasn't like a big nobody. At least like an officer ranking, high officer ranking member of the military army. Which I mean, definitely his age, definitely was involved in the war.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Some of those medals would have been for like honorifics. So definitely for some different for distinguishing himself in different battles as well. Like this man has in fact fought a lot.
Nothing else. He seems to come from high esteem.
I think we were able to tell it by the house. I look around the house.
Who knows? I'm not too sure how Faye take care of the military, so I won't make an assumption based on that. But, well, we're stuck here until we take our leave, and I'm not leaving it. Not leaving Carmen. So, while those two decide to have their screwing match, we can at least have dinner.
I want to point to chat, by the way. Hey, the fucking turtle first that got summoned.
Does he sense it?
Was summoned.
Fucking bloodhound.
But yeah, I assume they're still in there arguing, right?
Well, you don't hear what they're talking about, but yeah.
We will give them their privacy. Come along. I assume he won't kill us for having a bowl of soup.
Let's hope so.
The one thing I know about fucking noble face, they do have their weird etiquette. No idea how it works, but probably has some sense of honor here, hospitality or whatnot. I don't know.
We won't eat at his fine table then. We'll just eat in the kitchen. Yeah, I think Dusana would lead the others to the dish she made and probably eat in a usually if this is assumption on my part, a small kitchen area for us to eat, basically, not in the main dining room table or anything.
Yeah. As you're setting up kitchen, eventually you hear like footsteps. The two of them are walking down. He like looks at all of you and says, "Why are you eating here?"
We didn't want to ruin your fine tableware at the very least. I assume it's something that your people do.
Like rolls his eyes and says, "You may eat wherever you want then, but," as he like just gonna grab a bowl and like head off to the dining room.
Dusana's trying to hold her tongue. She's trying to be polite. She's trying to be polite.
Anyway, after Mr. Officer left, how's Blanc looking? How's Ron looking?
Shaken a bit. He's not saying much, that's for sure.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Does have a point. Apparently his private stuff, but I need some time to think.
Well, at least have a bowl before you go. I worked really hard on this, so.
You probably never tasted the cuisine from the basement before.
It sure is delicious.
He'll kind of shake his head. I'm not hungry. He'll just leave
Ah.
Ooh.
as he like leaves the house.
Dusana kind of sighs as she will get a look on her face. She tells others, "I'll be right back." She's gonna go and try to chat with the old man.
Yeah. The dining room, sort of eating.
So, am I allowed to ask any questions here, or are we just going to not do that?
Away.
And what capacity are we supposed to be under house arrest until we can take our leave?
Well, so whoever you're waiting. I think you told him, right?
Yeah, that she's waiting for her daughter, and she's like, "I'm not leaving without her."
Till your daughter is in town, I'm sure she would be easily recognizable.
Are you saying I cannot leave and look for her to ensure I can bring
No,
her home, or?
John will do that.
I won't ask you the details of whatever secret you have. That's your business, yes? But are you so afraid that someone will find out about you that you are confined to keep strangers close by?
Yes.
I would like to insight him as well, because John looks shaky, but I didn't know what he is feeling right now in this moment.
What are you inciting him on, though?
Yeah, I want to know, like, the conversation with John Luke took some time. Like, does he look shaken? Does he look upset? Is he just resigned? Like, what is his feelings on this?
Yeah, give me an insight. Too basic.
Gotcha. God damn it. Okay.
No. The only feeling you can sense for him is absolute shame.
Very well then. Your secrets are your own. At least until we leave. And yeah, Dusana's not gonna try to push him because it seems like he's not in a good spot either. So she's gonna turn around and go back to the kitchen.
Interesting thing to sound like. What would he be like shamed of his like what like prestigious military service?
I think she has a rough idea. To be honest, Dusana, while she wasn't necessarily on the front line, she dealt with people in the aftermath of the war and the injuries, and it wasn't a great time. So she assumes there's something in that regard that happened that he's shamed, based on what
Yeah,
she's
but like,
seen of this
why
guy.
would he? The problem is like, why would he be ashamed? Do you think he's ashamed of his own people, of everyone, of you particularly?
I think so. I think for Dusana, she thinks that something in the war, because I'm gonna be honest, in Dusana's eye, the war in the long run wasn't really worth all that happened. So something in the war itself is she can understand that there's like something he's done that he does not like that he's done in the war. I could assume it was based on that uniform he had. I can ask him directly, but
I'll say
I'm not sure if
this,
he's
with
gonna
your
tell.
success, you also pick up that he is also like, he is in fact, he will not really come out and say it, but there is a sort of shameful feeling towards himself in regards to you right now.
Ah, yeah, Dusana's gonna stop before she completely goes to the kitchen door or anything, and like turns to him with a bit of a sigh. As goes back up. Feel I will be honest with you. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to mention anything. But I feel like I should ask. What exactly has you so ashamed right now?
I Follow me outside. And she like stops eating, gets up.
Yeah, she does.
As he sort of brings you out in the courtyard. I mean, Kalida and Francesca, you see the two of them like walking out the backyard. If you wanna snoop.
No.
No.
I'll beat up Khalida if she thinks about snooping.
Disappointed.
No, she doesn't even think.
God is disappointed in you. But yeah,
Francesca's here to prevent Khalida.
as he brings you to the apparatus, the training machine. You know why I teach the boy how to defend and never how to strike?
I assume some long-held belief you have about battle itself.
It's not really a long-held one. In fact, most of my life I've killed people. It's a belief I've held for just about a decade.
Was it because of the war?
No. In war, people die, soldiers die. Civilians, though. That's when the soul dies. Your daughter, was it?
Yes.
Presume she told you about the cloak. As he like leads you back inside and he heads upstairs, he pulls the briefcase from underneath the bed. And he like puts it on the bed, sort of wipes the dust away, pops it open, and yeah, you see the medals and the Ace of Spades cloak. You know why I put this to the surface? This is the part I'd like to remember. The glory, the thrill, adventure.
She nods, basically.
As you'll sort of remove the cloak. Says, this is the part I keep to remind myself of the shame. As you see this sort of, it's like a sort of red cloth, as you see, like kind of ripped a bit, and you see a set of 3 stars on it, each of them surrounded by a circle of white.
Can she roll to see if she knows anything about that? If
Yeah.
it has any significance? I assume cultural?
Yeah, culture, basic too.
God damn it. Okay, she's no idea.
Well, I mean, you know that it looks like it resembles the banner of the like the military, like the realm, but like the realm has 5 stars, not 3.
Yeah, I assume it's something that it's not publicly known, or maybe something that was never meant to be known.
It says this is banner of the rebels that revolted a decade ago. After the Tsarina passed an edict, tensions were high here. People were angry, confused. One of those people, I fought the Horde for all my life. Seen the Janissaries in action. Killed Medjay. I've battled some of your people's deadliest and most terrifying warriors. And it was always defend others, to protect our people. I've led armies into battle. I've led specialized units in the in-betweens. You know what I never did? I never killed civilians. He never sacked innocent people. I've never watched children get butchered. And on that day when we decided that we would not put past horrors to rest, we would not just, it's meant to be a way to not fraternize with the enemy. I helped the leaders. I backed them, and suppressing the Duke. Plan was to exile Slua. Killed them. So many innocents, and I tried to stop them, but by the time the Imperial Army came to fight. By the time the Dark Fairy and his cannons bombed the castle, I was long gone, but the things that I saw that day made me realize how horrible all this violence is. All my fighting prowess, I could barely save a dozen people.
I see.
I deserted from the army. I renounced my place in the House of Cards. I hid with my shame, hoping to just die and be forgotten. Till Jean started pestering me with his foolish ideas of being a famous warrior, so I wanted to teach him how to be a true warrior and be able to defend people but not harm others.
Well, thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I think Jason is very guarded right now. Just know what to say in that regard.
Says, you may bring this to the authorities and I'll be arrested and executed.
I see no reason to. I will be honest, old man. I'm not too sure about your people's rules and laws. I don't trust them, and I don't know if they really would care overall.
Oh,
But
they would. All the Tristard are enemies of the state. Even he points to the piece of cloth. Even having one of these is a punishable crime.
that probably explains the ones that are hunting outside the lands and such. But if you wish for redemption and such, it has to be your choice. If you wish to face punishment, it'll be you walking up to the gallows. I'm not going to be, well, whatever you need me to be to punish you for that, it's going to be your decision. Right now, you're offering me my companion's safety while locked in your little home here. And once I return, get my daughter, we'll take our leave.
He nods. Like, puts everything back in the briefcase and slides underneath the bed.
Now, please enjoy a slew dish. She will give him a nod.
I thought it would be spicier.
Well, like I said, I can't have you dying on me now, can I?
Not the first one I've had. Thank you.
Yeah. She nods one more time before taking her leave, making her way back to the others.
Yeah, eventually Dusana will make her way back though.
Wow. How's the soup?
It's delicious.
That's good. It's been a while since I've made it. Didn't have the proper ingredients. Dusana probably looks troubled, but she's trying to maintain a calm demeanor right now. She's sitting down eating.
So do you want to talk or just leave it be?
It is best we leave our host's secrets to his own. I think it's best we don't get further involved. And once we're all together again, we should move on to the next place. We can do that. I think it's best, Kalita, you do not speak of
Yes.
this to anyone else. Same with you, Francesca, but I would kind of figure you already know that.
My lips are sealed.
She kind of looks at Francesca, who hasn't said anything.
Oh yeah, we're just kind of not long. She's eating. I know better to. Yes, I know. I don't want this sass to be sent after me by this guy. No, sorry, no.
Yeah, she just nods.
So are we allowed to look for Carmen? Or are
No.
we still trapped in here?
No, seems we're still trapped, but John will apparently be keeping an eye out, and Carmen, my daughter, is many things, reckless. One of them, but she's not a fool either. She'll find her way back to us. I'll give it a few more days, but if nothing pops up, I'll take my leave regardless of what he says. Sword in hand or no.
I'll probably recommend going through the window, but I'll cover your retreat.
I appreciate that, Francesca.
Listen, Francesca, I'm sure you can take down an old man past his
Nope.
prime.
Francesca, see how this guy moves. Listen, not taken down. Maybe at most fight off until she can tactically evacuate.
We will cut
Look-
back to. Sorry, go ahead. I want to finish that.
No, you're good. I was gonna make a joke, but you were fine.
As we cut back, Carmen.
Mhm.
Yeah, as you wake up in the morning, there's a knock at the door.
Mhm. Hello? Yes?
As
Come in.
the door opens, and you see Hakan walking in with a plate filled with food for breakfast.
Hey, you're not my usual guy.
No, I think they left. They left early to catch those rebels that attacked us.
That's good. So they let you go?
Yeah. Listen, I was never even being detained. She just wanted to have a friendly chat, is all.
Sure looked friendly.
Listen, she may look grumpy, but she has a soft, kind heart.
I'm just going to believe your word for it. Then.
You should. You should. Listen, if we're gonna stay here and
Sure.
question my acquaintances from all around the house, we're gonna be here for days.
Got a lot of friends, it seems like.
I
Maybe
did
some more friendly than others.
move around a lot, and what can I say? My dad was pretty connected with these people.
That's fair. But I did find out at least the direction that everyone went while you were catching up with your friend.
Hopefully they're in the city.
Yeah, I think they said they're further up.
Listen, Mount Ginol is not, like I said, not the most dangerous place, so I'm sure they could have survived a day or two on their own.
I mean, I'm sure they have. Just, would like to meet up with them again.
Yeah, listen, finish your breakfast and let's move on.
Alright. Have you eaten it all, or are they...
As he is already munching on the food that's there.
Oh, okay.
You snooze, you lose. Eating.
No, I'll give it. Yeah. She'll fight Hakan for the rest of the food.
And as you finish your breakfast, two of you are escorted out of the military camp with less friendly looks than the major soldiers were giving you. As you are lifted up the large sort of elevator into the first level of the city, as the streets that are filled with musicians and artisans are open to you, you begin to make your way through the town. As you don't get too far in before this young fairy sort of approaches you two and says, This will sound very rude. So I apologize. Are you friends with Sana, Francesca, or Kalida?
Yes, actually.
Khan Heinlein sort of kind of crosses his arms to say that. Just because we're slower? And the man just kind of freezes.
Listen, this is not the time to be upset by it. I can't.
That was a joke. That was a funny joke. Come on. As the young fairy looks embarrassed. Like, this guy is younger than you, Carmen.
Okay, it is a little funny.
It's like, well, I know where they're at if you want to meet with them. I assume you're her daughter.
Yep, that's me.
I don't know who you might be, sir. He's like... You don't need to know that. Why would you ask that? Expect me of some crime here? And he's like, again, like he's freaking out, the fair. He's like, it's fine, I'll forgive you this time. So take us to them fast. Like, he like rapidly nods and like starts heading away. Like, as Hakan sort of cackles to himself a bit.
I need to remember that for next time.
Remember what?
You know what? Making them sweat a little bit.
Yeah, as the two of you move through the city, eventually you'll be brought to the house. As it's a very good looking house, rather big manor, one might call it. You walk inside, and this is for the rest of you, it would have passed maybe a few hours, probably later in the day. But you see Carmen, Hakan, and Jean walking back into the hallway.
Yeah, Gisana's gonna race to Carmen and like give her a hug. Fucking word.
Oh, so glad you guys are okay. Hi, Mom.
Oh, she's just like 4 minutes, just hold you tight before pulling you back. It's like, don't you ever do that again, or I'll kill you myself. Do you hear me?
Do what?
Well, Sana, come on. I don't think you can blame her for the bandits and the hornets.
I
She
was
didn't need to
asleep
do that.
in the cart. I was tired. I couldn't have known that we would be attacked by rebels.
She's looking you over. I assume you don't have any injuries, but she's just
She does
frustrated
have-
now.
Yeah.
Does have injuries, but she looks like she's been bandaged and treated.
You're okay. That's the only thing that matters. She glances at Khan, I assume, who also doesn't have any injuries, but I want to make sure.
Hakan also looks a bit like banged up, but his weren't as nicely treated though. Kind of like
He got some new ones last night after talking to his ex. If you look closely, there's a bruise.
Good to see you both in one piece at the very least. She gives Khan a grateful nod, basically.
he'll kind of smile and nod back. The
Yeah, pretty intense entrance screening.
I assume that you meet up with our rescuers as well?
yeah,
So,
And
what?
I
Yes, sir.
assume we didn't bring Monty with you guys, right?
Monty? Is he with you guys?
He was seized by the authorities.
Kanhan
Yes.
lets out a loud swear.
Carbon
I
slowly
take it
turns
as a
to
no.
Hakan.
Great.
They may have found out that he's not a mouse.
Who would have thought?
As you hear Carmen, all you hear like the heavy foot, like the not heavy footsteps, but you hear one of the doors creaking. As you see the old man sort of looking into the hallway to see what the commotion is about. As
Yes.
he, like, his eyes kind of go a bit wide, as you just hear Hakan say, Charles?
His name is Charles.
Of course, he's an Arthurian knight.
As he just sort of looks a bit taken aback. And everyone, Jean is kind of looking between the two of them, confused. Oh.
But them, Hakan, do you know every fairy noble in this land?
Apparently.
Sounds like, yeah, all the nobles.
Military officer? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Merchant prince? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Charles did not tell me much. Anyway, I'll.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, Kalita.
Regardless of who and what he is, he has been kind enough to have us in his home until we can reunite and we will take our leave.
Yeah. As Charles kind of looks a bit confused, says, seen you in a while. Hope your father is keeping in good health. As Khan sort of
Carmen is like behind him, going like, no, like making like.
Motherfucker Charles. Oh, he doesn't know. He does not know.
As Khan just shakes his head, says, Dad's been missing for a while. I apologize. I didn't know it. Oh. He looks genuinely sad. It's like, I say, don't worry, he's just missing. I'll find him eventually. Maybe he's just hiding here like you. Who knows? Charles sort of nods slowly. Looks at the rest of you and says, I didn't realize you are friends with Hakan of all.
A small world out there. Small.
Appears so. Oh. He just sort of turns around and walks away.
He does that a lot.
Hakan
So
says,
that's
like,
normal behavior.
Yeah, you can never ever the guy like walk around. It's creepy. It's very creepy.
Yep, he's
I think all old people after a while kind of do that. I don't know why. It's...
most old people are not that delicate and smooth. But anyway, enough of good old
Delicate
Charles.
and smooth. Are you in love with this guy, Francesca?
I was merely complimenting his his combat prowess. He's But anyway, I don't want to I don't want to think about it anymore about him or his backstory. Let's
Okay. Right.
And I gotta agree with Francesca. He is sneaky as fuck.
Kalita. Yes, Kalita.
Regardless of Francesca's need to remind Kalita about everything that we've done in this house so far, well, it's sad to say that I assume you don't have a cart and we don't have Monty.
Right.
Well, we can get back. We'll get back, Monty.
Mm-hmm.
About Creeper.
She's gotta put out this bag. He's with us whole time.
I will kill you, Kalita. I will eat your eye.
And he even can do some tricks now.
I think that's a lie.
If he gets something to eat, but he can do tricks.
Is this trick? He will catch the meat as you throw it at him.
How big is Creeper right now?
It's still not that big compared to what you've seen him last time. He's still kind of, you can hold him in your hands.
Okay, so Carmen's gonna be like, "Oh, it's a cute little spider." And he probably tries to bite at her. She's like, "Fine."
Size of a small dog.
I will eat you too.
Well, he'll learn to accept it one day.
He has no other option.
What the fuck? Why?
Well, we didn't get far. We were taken in by the kind John Luke. He eventually introduced us to Charles, and well, we took to a bit of cleaning and stumbled across something Charles didn't want us to know about. He's very upset about it.
Oh no.
Yes.
You didn't go through his stuff, did you?
I mean, I didn't know it was his
Oh
stuff.
my god.
Why? What's in his stuff?
He looks at you, Carmen, and says, "He is a war criminal."
Oh,
Ah,
I think
my
we have a
second
lot of those
guess.
back home.
ah.
Yeah, but the Imperial Army might kill him if they find out.
Damn, Hakan just over here spilling secrets left and right.
Yeah, but we're gonna,
Ooh,
but, we're not,
okay.
but we're not gonna rat him out to the, out to the government.
No, we're not. Listen, this man helped me a lot. He basically is like a grandpa, so like he's cranky, but he has his qualities. Oh, God. Does he still have the fucking torture machine in the backyard?
Oh yeah, he does. Oh, what the? Yeah,
The
what?
what?
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hated
the
that thing.
I'm running. I gotta go look at the backyard.
Yeah, the
You-
fucking yeah.
As you dash towards the end of the hallway, you look throughout. You go out the door in the backyard. There's this contraption with many
Ooh.
like moving parts, and it's turned off. But Jean is sort of walking behind and says, "This is not the torture machine. This is the training machine."
Hakan, I have a
It looks
question.
like a torture machine to me.
Hakan, I have a question. Have you ever seen Charles actually not get hit by this thing, or like
No,
survive for a few?
that's not the
Yeah, it's hard
point
to
of
say.
that thing.
Yeah, I think the point is you get hit and you just I think learn.
No, the
assume.
point is to minimize impact. Redirect the blade. Ooh. The dumb thing.
So what is this thing?
The training
Jean
machine.
looks so indignated that it's like
Carmen, this is a training machine.
Jean says, "These people do not know what they're talking about. This is a machine that helps one achieve their true potential as a warrior."
Oh, do you get hit by it?
Yes,
Oh, please demonstrate then.
he will in fact step to it as he like turns
Okay.
on the machine, as the gears and the cogs start moving, and as he like takes his position in front of it, you will see the many clubs start to like move and in a sort of eighth rhythmic motion strike at him, and he can avoid some of them, but he does get hit every now and then.
Carmen looks at her mom.
No.
No, what? Wait, I didn't say anything.
Carmen, you have very little brittle bones. You will not survive.
My bones are not brittle.
And your mother almost lost you. Please, let her poor heart be.
Fine.
They're demonstrating for a couple of moments. He like sort of steps back and walks, kind of turns it off.
I'll applaud.
We will applaud for him.
Yeah.
As you can like hear like someone like kind of sort of stomp their foot on the ground as Charles is looking at this very upset. Looks at Jean and says, "What did I tell you about boasting?"
He wasn't boasting. He was demonstrating. My daughter has an
This is
curious mind
not
from the
a
shield.
toy or used for demonstrations. This is a machine meant for training only. And just because you weren't capable of dodging everything, Hakan, doesn't mean it's impossible.
I'm gonna look at Hakan when that happens to see what his reaction to that.
Han sort of shrugs and says, "I've ever seen you dodge every hit, old man." Charles kind of sort of grimaces and says, "Because I was trying to teach you at the time, and unlike fairies, you don't have any wings, but I can see your intellect has still not evolved after 2 decades. Khan says, well, at least I will die way after you so I can crack jokes at your grave. What are you gonna say then, man? Yeah, I will do that. Don't try to look so upset about it.
I think he'll haunt you, Hakan. Watch out.
The Khan says, nah, I can deal with that too. Charles kind of looks at him and says, with that attitude, I think I'll be the one dancing at your grave.
Oh.
The Khan sort of kind of rolls his eyes. Listen, you can abuse the kid if you want. I want to eat something, drink, and relax, and figure out how I'm gonna smuggle my rat out. Charles like, your what? And it's just
Mouse.
going.
Big mouse. Yeah, it's a very big mouse. Starts with
Very
gray.
big mouse.
Grayish
Is it?
tint.
Monty's the name.
He didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me
He what?
he didn't. He had this dumb idea. He told me he was a kid taking a baby rat, painting it, and trying to pass it off as a mouse. Please tell me you
What?
actually did this.
No,
Oh,
it's
he
definitely
was-
a mouse.
It's definitely a mouse.
It's a very fat mouse.
It's a bit bigger than most.
And it's a mouse. For sure.
The deadpan look will give this man.
Charles is fucking. Oh, Francesca's lost all her fear of Charles,
Sure.
man. Oh, this is just a wholesome family moment.
Charles sort
Carmen
of
looks at Kalita. Does he know about Creeper?
takes a deep breath and just sighs.
Well,
Completely
If you want.
defeated.
it seems that we'll be having another guest for dinner before we take our leave. If you want, I will mix extra plates.
He nods.
Said it's like I've done
You
enough.
perhaps have some of that strong alcohol.
Francesca gets ready. She's gonna get her a flask of free X.
I might need
You
it
can handle
for
it.
the dinner.
You're gonna kill this man.
Listen, he asked for it.
Would you perhaps stay as well, John Luke? I would love you to meet my daughter and such.
He nods and says, Master, the alcohol is like, he's like, this is one exception. This is one enemy I cannot defeat sober.
Hakan is undefeatable.
As, yeah. He'll sort of say, but you're so keen on training, Jean, that means you still have energy, so I think I'll take this opportunity to show you how you can deal with this machine and not actually get hit. As Jean's eyes sort of light up with interest,
Oh, may I be allowed to see because I'm curious.
he nods.
We just sit like
Yeah.
cross-legged, like okay, go ahead.
As he'll take off his like coat, hang it, and as he walks up to the machine, starts it up. He slightly lifts off the ground. As the thing starts swinging at him. And he dodges with the same expertise that Jean has, but now he uses the full range of 3D space. And starts using his wings as well. And now moves that were previously physically impossible have opened up, allowing him in fact to not get hit even once for about a couple of minutes before he flies away and sits down, stops the thing and looks back at Jean and says, I believe you could do this. As he like nods with enthusiasm as he gets ready to jump into the training with a training dummy. As 2 seconds, he gets smacked.
Ooh. Ooh.
As the man just shouts again. And this entire process will be repeated for many hours until dinner is ready. But yeah, no, the secret was always that you needed wings
Fly,
to
yeah.
to be able to fly.
This way, Hakan and Francesca can never fucking beat this thing. We sadly cannot fly.
As
What that attitude you can.
That's true. Francesca actually thinking, what if I can beat this without wings? So,
What if I'm just that good?
what if I'm that gal? What if I'm that
I mean,
gal?
you can try.
Francesca doesn't want to ask, but also I feel it's kind of he doesn't want to test. She doesn't want to test his fucking his hospitality.
Don't be a wimp. Try out the machine. Try out the
That's
machine.
true. That's true.
I mean, if you're gonna ask to try the machine, you'll get smacked in about 2 seconds.
Yeah. So, yeah, Francesco's not trained for this kind of thing.
You can listen. I'll make you a deal. You can roll me. You can roll me like a dexterity roll, and we'll see how many successes you get. And I'll tell you how long you last in the thing.
Sure thing.
Jesus.
Reroll that. Actually, hold on. Do I wanna? No, mind. The broad does not in fact work. Never mind. Just for getting out of a hard situation. It doesn't have to do a fancy stunt. I wanted to deploy a move here, but never mind. I'll just reroll that.
Yeah, I mean,
Ooh,
you can
perfect.
use bravado to prolong it, but
I'm
like
sure
bravado,
I'll lose.
again, no, succeeding at this without wings is actually impossible.
Yeah.
It's just that, yeah, if you trigger the bravado, you would have been able to last like decently until you like got smacked.
Oh,
But then you would never get to use it for the rest of the session. So up to you if you think it's worth flexing in
Nah.
a training practice thing.
it's not worth flexing, especially the one that's not meant for me.
Yeah, you last about 30 seconds.
Not bad.
How long did you last, out of curiosity?
Can't just ask a guy that.
I will, though.
Hakan's not here. Hakan's not gonna watch this man get
I'll
like
fuck Hakan.
get
I'll fuck
left
Hakan.
or inside.
No, I was Charles then. How long did Hakan last?
Kind of like looks at you. You think this is a competition?
Merely a jester.
A disgraceful one. This is not a toy. This is not the machine meant practice for becoming better as a warrior. Warriors do not brag.
I see what you and Hakan did. How did you and Hakan get along?
I was good friends with his father. Children are rowdy. There's nothing weird. It's just expected that they will eventually grow out of it, and apparently he never did. That is why he will never be a true warrior.
I don't think he wants to be a true warrior.
That is his choice.
I guess unfortunately we'll look back at John as assuming the beating continues.
John's doing much better with the wings.
Oh, nice. Oh, nice, yeah. Oh, sure. Actually, she would have before he would do one more question.
Mhm.
Seeing as his eyes now has been broken by Hakan, But jokes aside and bragging, I do have one question. Why train Jean? Was he just a...
Because I want this world to have more people that want to defend others are not so eager to kill.
Oh, wow. And I thought you were a cynic.
I am quite cynical.
That's-
I think what Jean wants to become is impossible almost. I've never seen anyone do it. But maybe he will be able to.
The kid has spirit, I give him that.
He's also young, brash, naive, and untested.
He's just got a temper there, just like Irons.
Yes.
But I have hope for him. I think he'll make it.
Only time will tell.
Oh, sorry, Charles. My phone just rang.
I got a text.
It was-
My food is on the way.
I got my text from my cultist superiors, Francesca Codas, man.
My food is on the way. I'm so sorry.
We have a job.
Inside Dusana, Hakan will help you prep the meal. And it's like, why are you making it so bland? No, add more.
I didn't know.
Nah, the
Francesca
old man can take it. Don't worry. He may go to the bathroom funnily for a day or two, but he can handle it.
Sana just shakes her head with a laugh before putting more in the regular dish way. So, do you want to explain what happened when you two were out there? How did it go? How did you get back? And your time with the military?
He chuckles. Well, we managed to sneak away from the fighting. They were a bit distracted by the murderous hornets that were trying to kill. These wasps are not very friendly. Unfortunately, by the time we came back, the entire thing had been looted. So our stuff was gone. And as he says that, there's a lot of sadness on his face.
Yeah. Usana doesn't know necessarily what's taken, but she does, if he allows, of course, put her hand on her shoulder because it looks like something important was taken from you as well.
Yeah, my needle was so had a lot of sentimental value for me. It's a very good weapon as well.
Once we are out here, we can set our sights on trying to find it for you. Family heirlooms are important.
Funny, your daughter said the same. Definitely, I think the rebels headed out for the Waxy Swale. That's not a fun area to go around diving in.
Oh, we didn't begin this journey with the intention of fun areas, as you keep reminding me. A bit of adventure is good for everyone else. I'll just bring some extra alcohol to calm the nerves.
That's true. Maybe they didn't go into the actual thing. Maybe they're just camping out in the mushroom forest outside of it. Can be hopeful, right?
It's all we usually have.
Listen, I can understand if Charles has been a bit difficult. He's not it's not the easiest to deal with.
I want to hit him over the head with my fist, but he's not the worst thing I've ever encountered. The war and its aftermath changed a lot of people. And the choices he made are his own. I don't think he did it with ill intentions, or at least that's how he explains it.
Oh, he was a patriot until he saw a lot of innocents just get killed for no reason.
We rarely know the choices we make and the impact they'll have. And when we realize the mistakes, it's usually after it's already happened. I don't agree with how he's kind of looks around, I guess. Decided to live with his guilt, but it's his choice to wallow in it.
Well, I mean, helped me out, and he kind of chuckles a bit. I don't think he's I mean, he is probably wallowing, but I think this is form of pittance. Come on, let me show you something while he's distracted outside.
Hmm.
As he'll kind of lead you upstairs
Oh dear.
into the man's sort of study room. Khan sort of goes up to one of the walls, starts kind of knocking on like different plates, and then eventually, as you hear hollow, he sort of presses on that a bit as the panel just comes off slightly. And as he like pulls out this secret drawer, it's filled with papers, like them out and puts them on the table. He like points at them, and they look like a lot of sort of money transfers, and you can see the things that have been purchased, like food, clothes, medical supplies, that sort of thing. As there are a couple of names there that you don't recognize of the presumably people who are transporting this, but you can definitely tell that some of these destinations include Umbral, Alsahir, Deep Down, the Sewer.
I see. Oh, it's good to know he has a little bit of a heart under that rough exterior.
Has been in
Gotta-
fact hiring smuggling crews and merchant groups to bring stuff to, well, orphanages and other war victims. Apparently, he had a lot of money. He kind of just sort of, and well, I guess eventually it'll run out, but he can still sell the house.
At least he's doing it for good, at the very least. And he seems to, well, kind of figured he was a bit of a softie when he was training John Luke.
He like as he puts the things back, he says, "Oh, that kid is so dumb. Ooh."
He is naive, yes. I worry about him, but he seems to be set in his ways. And I understand the look of a man who has regrets. I understand the look of a boy who has, well, the aftermath of dealing with everything he's been dealing with. Whether I agree with him is a different matter, but people deal with grief differently.
Well, I mean, glad Charles found his perfect student then, at the very least. It was always quite far from perfect. I don't know what's like the diametrical opposite of perfect.
At the very least, Francesca's been eyeing training him as well. Apparently, she is impressed by his skill.
Have to be quite skilled. Charles has been training you.
And he seems to be a very romantic figure, at least by the looks. Kalita keeps sneaking at him when no one's paying attention.
He sort of kind of looks at you and says, "Just romantic in the sense that he wants to, have fun, or romantic in the I will take off my coat and drape the puddle in front of you so you can walk through it without stepping in, my lady, kind of shit.
I think he would put himself on the puddle and let you step on him to get to safety. But yes, the second one.
Oh, makes me sick to my stomach. Ugh.
It's rather adorable, actually. But don't embarrass her or him because of it, Hakan. I mean it.
What are you gonna do? Ground me?
I'll break you.
Mm-hmm. Didn't even break the old man. What chance do you have with me?
I was being kind to our host until my daughter was found. Don't push me, young man. I will hurt you.
Yeah. I saw how authoritative you were when you let your kid just go down into a nest of spiders.
Regardless, she rolls her eyes. It's like, regardless of how my panic at the matter, there is a grain of truth in the fact that I have to let Carmen learn things on her own. And she gets most of her rash, bashful behavior from her father, I swear.
He sort of like chuckles and nods.
Yeah, let's go make sure the soup doesn't boil over, and hopefully make sure our host survives the tasting.
You see Francesca putting in the 4X bottle, the actual poison.
Sort of.
No.
Hakan sort of chuckles and says, "The man's don't listen. Most of the smugglers he hires are other slow, so you think he's not had our kind of dishes?"
It's more like we left the stove on, and I don't want to have the soup actually turn to burnt crust.
Mm. Yeah, he might make fun of you.
Yes, I have my pride.
As yeah, I'll go back to. Eventually, by the time evening done, well, I mean, Jean can handle about like a minute and a half without being.
He's getting
Not bad.
better.
Oh, not bad actually. That's not bad at all.
Charles says it's pathetic. Let's go to eat.
Charles, you're a legendary
Wow.
master. Come on, Charles.
Tough crowd.
Do you think the people who will try and kill him will care that he lasts a minute longer? No.
I'm trying so hard not to.
Were you able to last a minute 30 at his age?
He looks at you and says, "Yes."
Okay, never mind then. I'll take back my remark.
As you all walk in as you sit down in the dining room. Like, yeah, he'll start eating, and I like taste the food. That you Dusana and says, "It's quite good." Eating that.
The ghost pepper, he likes it.
That's why I blink or two from Desana before she nods as well. Not trying to show that she's pleased. Fuck you, old man. Eat my soup.
It is nice to have home cooking again. I was eating military rations.
As after, like, I'm not sure if any of you have any conversations you would like to make.
I don't know if there's anything necessary that. Oh, I think we'll let Carmen know what we've been doing necessarily. Mainly that we've been staying a couple days here with John Luke
Been
around
literally
town.
like a day.
And look, Dusana missed her daughter. I'm sorry. She just wanted to make sure she knows. And also, I don't remember if we missed anything with telling Jill specifically. But no, I think at least for Dusana, just idle chatter.
Yeah, Kalina would just ask common question about the military and how history was.
Yeah, there was this nice guy. I don't know who he was. I didn't ask his name. Feel bad about that, but he gave me his room to stay in.
Alita, you are very
And
curious.
food.
Maybe you are a spy. Maybe that guy. Maybe the major was right.
What?
What?
That's nothing.
Hakan will kind of speak through the words. I believe his name was Alexei.
Alexei. Well, he was nice. The other lady was scary.
Oh,
Didn't seem so nice.
you mean that?
Black Swan, as they called her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that name fits her.
Yeah.
As for
More like
Don't ask me
raging
too much
bitch.
questions.
You have to tell me what happened. You
She
can't get away
was-
from it forever.
Listen. She just listen. As Charles looked at him and that he just sort of shakes his head and says, "Your foul mouth, Hakan, will the death of you one day." As Hakan sort of shrugs and says, "I'm sorry, old man, but all of you like military folks are like assholes. I don't know. I don't know what they feed you over there. The asshole soup, I guess."
part of basic training, Hakan.
You shut up like 30 seconds in the wheel of torture.
Listen, I want to try it out.
But no. Just listen. I don't care, Charles. She's the bitch. As he like says, if you would be more disciplined, maybe she wouldn't have to be.
It
But
sounds
Khan like
you
rolls
both-
his eyes and continues eating.
She sounded like looks at It was like sounds like you both know her on a more intimate level.
Major Katenka is a renowned figure in the Imperial Army, and a well-respected individual in the realm.
Well, at the very least, she helped me when she could have just easily have left me after questioning and made sure, other than taking Monty, made sure we got to this, got out of there safely. Though I do agree, the military has its charm.
He looks at Hakan and says, "How much have you told them about your father?" Like, as much as they honestly need to know. Subject wasn't brought up that often. As Charles just kind of nods solemnly and like continues eating then.
I feel like Carmen looks at Kalita because we both have extra knowledge about this.
Yeah.
Not gonna say something, Carmen? Come on, where's your curiosity, your adventurous spirit? That straightforwardness, that endearing straightforwardness.
Let's blow this bitch up, is what he's saying.
I mean, you could tell us more about your dad. I mean, if we're going to find him, we need to know, right?
I mean, Cameron's right. We need to know what we're looking for.
You know what? I guess you could give me a charm roll.
Oh God, I'm not good at that.
Too basic.
Is she
Are we
getting any
both
help?
doing it?
I mean, depends. If more people will put pressure, other people can roll.
Oh yeah, Kalita would help. With
You said
her
too
stats
basic?
up.
Yeah.
Can
I have to roll
I
the best I possibly can with this.
can I get a plus? Oh no, I was gonna.
Oh my god, you only have
I'm not charming.
Before she
didn't-
rolls, can I give a help to Kalita a +1 to her roll?
It depends. Are you saying anything to her?
Yeah, I assume she's just gonna look to Hakan. It's just like, if this figure seems to be important, and it seems that she raises an eyebrow that you're looking for him. You helped us quite a lot, Hakan. It would be only fair that she do the same.
Yeah, Kalida, you can roll, and I'll give you like 2 extra bonus die from both Carmen and Sana.
Oh no, I didn't roll, didn't it? No.
You
Get
can
a free
reroll.
reroll.
You got a re. Do you get a free roll? Then never mind.
I can't read. I had to reload the page.
Oh, gotcha.
You could go all in.
Make things worse or better. It could have worked out. It
Wait,
could have worked out.
Listen, 2 dice. They're not the worst odds.
The last time I did this, I snooped in Charles' bag. Didn't turn out great.
Let's.
It's 2 dice. It's not the worst odds.
How
I like
bad could
the other one.
pushing away the guy that we're traveling with for the rest of the campaign be?
Doesn't need to be for the rest of the campaign.
But if you guys want to, I can.
He just leaves us here.
Maybe don't. Maybe don't if Grant has the ominous message. It's up to you.
All ends are always gonna have consequences.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go all in.
We'll take the L.
Yeah. I'm not gonna risk it.
He's already been shot once before.
Says, you don't need to know about him. I know how he looks. Find him. Listen. I guess just if you hear about the legendary warrior, should be fine, right?
Ooh, a legendary warrior.
Another one, goddamn.
Yeah.
Well, at least can you tell us what he looks like? Be very sad if we come across him we don't even know it.
Sure, the character picture of a dead NPC. I don't know. It seems kind of like wasted effort right here.
But if you want, you can just say you describe it. So I have it, but you can just say he describes it. So when it comes up, I'll be like, "Hey, this is something you
it's
remember."
Fine. I'll sacrifice a picture for a dead NPC.
Right.
Is he alive? This means he is alive, clearly.
You gotta believe. Look, if worse comes worse, we can find his grave and like a note he left for his son saying how much he loves him. Just twist the knife, you know.
A note that lasted like 20 years.
Hey, look, if we can find it, if you can find stuff in ruins, you can find notes about dead parents.
He wrote on his tombstone. How about that, eh?
Don't worry, Colin. When Dusana dies, she'll be like that NPC loot skeleton you find with a note for her daughter.
I'm finding your skeleton? That's horrifying.
Environmental Bethesda storytelling skeleton.
I'll be a storytelling skeleton for you.
Environmental storytelling. Yay. It's very important in world building.
Of course, of course.
This looks like a good picture. I can't find a better fucking resolution.
Isn't Pinterest great when you're like, I want to look at this, and it's like 4 pixels?
I mean, why are they all so menacing? Ah, I see. That's why it was so fucking low res. Okay. If I can find one that doesn't look like he is about to like beat your ass. Finding pictures for household truly is a difficult task.
You got to put in the certain words, like 1800s gentleman or something like that.
My algorithm was not trained for nice people. I am in fact only getting like fucking edgelords and fuckboys. Holy shit.
I would ask what you need, but I feel like this is one of those secrets you want to hold off until you find it yourself.
I'll be honest, Fred. Your household Pinterest is lacking. I'm
What did you
disappointed by it.
need, Grant? What did you need, Grant?
I need
I started
like
putting
more.
gentlemen in. What do you need more of? You gotta give me more than vague, vague words here.
This one.
I started looking up society-based people because you mentioned that we might be seeing society-based people. So like, okay, I'll start
Yes.
adding military and those stuff in there. She is long-lived, Hate, so she's more than I think 50 or 60 years old. She's been there since the beginning of the when they first started getting it as a child. So she's really old. But she also has the that warm-blooded thing for being a noble of her house. Only comes through her bloodline though. Welcome back, Jill.
Hi.
Grant's dunking on my choices of Pinterest now.
Oh. Why?
I don't know. He had a request, but he didn't even tell me what the order was, and now I failed him.
Mm.
Yeah, he'll kind of give a detailed description. His father.
Gotcha.
Aw.
We can just Hate has decided that, you know what, if nobody's gonna give me pictures, I'm gonna give myself pictures.
Yeah.
Discovered
Oh my God.
masturbation.
So yeah, I'm gonna say, listen, I mean, like, he just sort of gets up and like walks out of the room.
Yeah, a little worried, but she doesn't try to follow him or push him.
Maybe that wasn't the best line of questioning.
It was bitten poor. God damn it, Hate, calm yourself down. It probably was. We should apologize later.
Probably.
Yeah, seemed like I put too much.
As Charles just sort of sighs and says, his father was also part of the House of Cards.
Slow turn to Charles.
His father was the King of Hearts.
What?
Do you have any idea why he would have gone missing and all?
Unlike me, he had no reason to hide from the authorities, but we all made a lot of enemies.
What exactly is this House of Cards? I don't think I've heard of it.
An order of powerful warriors were part of the realm. Well, after the rebellion, I shameful display. I left. I don't know what happened to them afterward. Before that, was made out of many people. Some mostly involved in the military, but there were others that were not officially part of the army. Everyone was helping out however they could, wherever they could. The ideals of nobility, of chivalry, were present. I don't really know what happened. I've caught contact with most of the other members, and last time I saw Nazar was more than a decade ago. Khan was still a young boy at that point. Never told me how he found Hakan. Apparently, something happened in either the basement. I just assumed. I assumed Nazar might have stumbled upon a kid during one of the attacks, fighting. Might have taken him with him. He was very cagey with the details, so I didn't really press into. He was an honorable man, though, so whatever happened, his intentions were good.
Yeah, Dusana just nods, kind of glancing at John Look to see what his reaction is to this whole thing.
He is, in fact, not saying anything. He is just.
Ooh.
This is not my business. I'm not even gonna pay attention. I'm just gonna stare at my soup. As he is struggling with the meal so fucking hard, Dusana.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Gonna push over some sweet milk to him. Hopefully that's gonna help with that.
Charles might be used to slow cuisine. This man isn't, though.
He's only used to sauerkraut here in the cupboard. I know this is French. Fuck, never mind. No, we're not the cupboard. We're the fucking Mount Ganot, I think. What are we?
I wonder. The
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck
piano.
this is French food.
Only baguettes.
Baguette, there we go. Yeah, baguettes. Fuck yeah, wrong.
Gonna pass over some milk to hopefully help with that.
As
Ah.
yeah,
No, you're good.
Charles will just sort of look at you and say, I don't think his father would just abandon him. Even if he was in hiding, pretty sure someone like him could have snuck out and eventually reunited. The house is big, but not that big.
It remains a mystery, and it seems he's determined to find his father regardless.
You know
At
how
least
long
that's what I
his
gather.
you know how long his father was missing for?
She shakes her head in negative. Be honest, I didn't really know anything about his father. She kind of glances at both Carmen and Kalita when she says that, because I think they were the ones who are you gonna bring it up in the first place, right?
I don't remember. Did we bring it up?
You're
I think
the,
You were asking
Briefly,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah.
you're the ones that were eavesdropping on him and Vlad.
Yeah.
You know the most lore.
I can't remember how long he said. For some reason, I have like both 20 and like 10 years in my head.
20 years sounds.
Decades, yeah. Well, he was missing for centuries. As I was a joke, Grunt. That was a joke.
I don't remember how long I said.
I think you mentioned
Let me
years.
search my
The
notes.
archives.
I feel like a couple of years sounds about right.
Mm.
Because Vlad was like, yeah, he's dead, my friend. There's no.
For a while, yeah. Vlad
I
could
am
say like
not
for a
together.
while.
And my notes again, she disappeared at least a decade ago.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that sounds about right. Which by that timeline would put that disappearance not long after sort of Charles kind of cut off contact with everything.
I mean, is it technically possible that he is out there and can't leave because it's not his choice?
But again, how long has he been gone for?
A while, right? Yeah.
A while can mean 1 year, or it can mean 5.
Or 10.
He like you say that his expression changes to a much more sour one. That long. Doubt it. But um fortunately I don't think that's great. He is probably dead. We assassins coming after us were not a uncommon thing. And it only takes a mistake. Till a Magi, his blade ends up deep in your back.
I mean, there has to be somebody who remembers what happened, right?
Fortunately, I cannot help you as that time I did cut off contact with the House of Cards, but I can give you a lead if you're interested in.
Yes.
There was the Bogart that I knew back in the war days. Young, rash, violent, but had a softer side to him. May be able to track him down. Or what came of him.
Personally,
But
what's the odds that it's the fucking night? It's the night.
I don't know, Mac. The Knight's just irrelevant. You know, I've forgotten about him. You know, the Black
no.
Knight, that like entire like triggering event, probably meaningless. Probably meaningless.
Francesca think about mentioning the night actually. But for
Black
now,
what? I've forgotten. He says, I don't know where he would be, but I know that during the war, he always talked about he aspired to become one of the Cinder Knights. So maybe visit Cinder
Cinder
Hall.
Knights? Carmen looks at Kalita. Wasn't it one of those guys that you saw?
Yeah. Yes. was.
Well, the man that you engaged with, Kalita, it's not a common thing for a Cinder Knight to do such things. I'll be honest. Hard to say if he really is one, or he's a deserter, or a mad littling for all we know.
Where did you saw this Cinder Knight?
Back home, in bathroom, I was the poet, and he was looking for something.
She's right. No normal Cinder Knight is gonna venture that far away from home.
Yeah, seemed like the thing was pretty precious to him. Because he slaughtered everyone in his way.
Looks a bit sort of intrigued and what's the word for it? Again, I have to scour my wiki.
Perplexed?
No, there's the thing that they all wore. That article of clothing that escapes me now.
Mm.
The fucking vestige. Oh my. There's what was it? His vestige?
I have no idea what a vestige is.
It was a big fuck off. Great scissors. You know.
I don't know the word. That's what I meant. But yes, it was a big scissor that was smuggled.
No, they wouldn't care about that. A weapon can be replaced.
I mean, it did seem pretty valuable. And he was only out for that particular one.
Still, that is no Cinder Knight. Ever heard one? Cinder Knights are part of the Church of Safekeeping. And they're not allowed to.
Not for any reason?
No. The vestige, why I asked, is it's a symbol. It's quite valuable to them. That might have caused one to go after you, but weapon, I doubt it.
I mean, don't know anything, not that much. I mean, the only thing else I got about the scissors, it was supposed to go to some client because it was some antique relic, apparently.
Sprites never amazed me in their hubris. They would collect us all and put us in display cases for patrons.
I mean, I wouldn't say it like that. I mean, not all
No.
of them are like that.
What do you have in your backpack?
I mean, it's just a friend. It's not a collectible.
No? Did you ask him to come along? Is he a willing participant?
I mean, he agreed to jump into the bag, so I guess it counts.
At first, chuckles at that.
Or maybe you're his only source of food and it's trying to survive after you took it from the wilds.
Yeah.
My point proven.
What was this name of this Bogart you were saying that we could be a lead though?
Und went by the name Norman.
Do you know we can find him then, or would he be on our route? Other than with the Cinder Knights?
I don't. We've been working together in the military, but it's been more than a decade. That's why I said Cinder Hall, because he always spoke that after the war he would join the Cinder Knights, make the contract, and devote his life to the hearth.
Very well then, we could at least let Hakan know.
The reason I'm
See,
suggesting is that Norman and Nazar were quite good friends, and Nazar always said that he wanted to. He kind of like shakes his head, almost like chuckles at the insanity. Walk into the fire, so just like
sounds like
just like Hakan, Nazar had a appetite for adventure that bordered on the insane. Is his father's son, even if they're not related by blood.
well. Apparently, recklessness is a shared trait no matter where you go. And telling Hakan about this, I think, would be good.
He is, I think, torn in the fact that, well, he is a Slua, and his father killed many Slua in the war. Be gentle with him. He likes to act like nothing affects him, but that would only fool the foolish.
Usana just nods.
And yeah, eventually, if there's no other questions, dinner is done. He will go back to his room, as Jean sort of will head to the bathroom.
I got that. Francesca wanted to say goodbye to
guy.
John one time, but alas,
You'll see it before
can't
we
say
leave.
it.
for sure.
leave in the middle of the night, savages.
No. We're not doing
true.
Irish goodbye.
Plus, I
It's
can't
fine.
also still need to get Monty free.
Aw,
The Grand
Irish
Theft,
goodbyes are the only thing I do.
Grand Theft Mouse, or Grand Theft Rat.
Mouse.
Well, Grand Theft Rat in this case. The Great Rat Race.
Yeah, I think we should. She's gonna tell Hakan what Charles told her.
I mean, you'll kind of find Hakan outside, sort of throwing pebbles at the machine as they kind of bounce off the metal.
I don't think Charles would be happy about that.
Well, he can come down here and tell me that himself. As long as another pebble in it.
Well, at the very least, I'll let him know that just to see if he reacts at all. But I bring news and an apology. I'm sorry for asking and pushing about your father. I understand how, well, wounds like that don't just, it should have been left alone for you to tell on your own terms.
You want me to say to Sana that my dad spoke? He. Let me try and paint you a picture. I grew up. I grew up. I venture from place to place. Sometimes he would go off for a few days. Sometimes he would come back and bring me stuff and assume he probably was killing people. I grew up with him telling me all the things about the different house folks, stories, legends, facts, showing me all these sites, gallivanting around, and for me to just learn that, well, oh, your dad was part of the military and he might have killed people. I don't even know. I don't. Charles tells me he wasn't. Not all of the House of Cards members were commanders and captains and whatnot. But he also told me that everyone was involved in the war somehow.
I can't speak on what your father has done, or whether he committed crimes or what he stood in the military. That's not for my place to do such a thing. It seems, though, that your father loved you, saved you, protected you, cared for you, regardless if you were a slughor or not, which is honestly maybe the most important thing. And
He told
the
me
war,
he found me in a told me there was an attack on a transport and that one was killed, but he found me in the wreckage, just a small baby. But after that realization, our last talk was a big fight, pleasant conversation. You know what I asked him? I asked him if he's the one that killed my actual parents.
I see.
And he said, you know what the answer was? That he didn't know. He couldn't say no for sure. You see, Charles, there, a noble soldier, noble commander, got involved in the rebellion, saw when they were butchering the kids, had a moment of his reality crashed around him. And he decided, you know what, I'm gonna help the survivors, smuggled out, and I will donate my incredible fortune gathered throughout my long life to our war victims, so that some kids can get clothes and maybe not go hungry in the night. But you also know what Charles told me? He never attacked the caravan. He never went after civilian targets, but someone did in the war. And you know just as well as I do that civilians were in fact not spared. The whole propaganda bullshit that they kept on going, they did that for the benefit of the soldiers, the public. Of course civilians got hurt. Now the question is, who do you think hurt those civilians? Who do you think worked as specialized units, not wearing the colors of the realm, going in, killing people, going out?
I said, I can't really give you comfort in this one, Hakan. It's ugly, all of it. But focusing only on the negatives, looking at your father differently, it happens with time, yes, but he wasn't just that. He wasn't just some killer. I. In the war, everyone felt like they were doing their part, helping each other,
You're a
whether it
medic,
was.
Tusana. You healed people.
Let me finish. Even my own husband. He joined the war because he thought we were going to make things better for ourselves. That stepping in and defending and fighting and killing, it would be worth it, all of it. And for a lot of people, that's what they thought. It wasn't some hatred. It wasn't some. Not everyone was out to just cause harm and do whatever it was in the dark hearts that some people have. They believed they were doing the right thing. It doesn't excuse it, but whether it was a lie that they told themselves or something that someone else told them. I don't know what my husband did out there. He didn't really talk about it often. It took its toll on him, I know. It took its toll on everybody. Maybe eventually your father realized that. Maybe he felt guilt, maybe 100 different things, but you'll never really know. And that's going to hurt the most. But it's up to you how you want to look at your father. Whether if you find him in the end of all this and you feel the same or differently, or you get the answers you want, I can't say for certain. But it's up to you, no one else, to decide that.
Thank you for everything.
It's what I'm here for, and I didn't just come here about that. Charles gave us a lead. It may point to your father, possibly. A Bogart, he knew. Of the Cinder Knights, but then it goes with the name of Norman. Seems your father had a wish to walk through the flames, as he would joke, but...
Yeah, I think I have a vague recollection of him. Big man, laughed very loudly.
Well, we're still planning to go on our grand adventure. It wouldn't hurt to take a look.
Center Hall is quite the detour.
It's a ways away. I've always wanted to see what it looks like. I've heard tales about it. And I'm sure the others would like a chance to see it.
I guess we can put it to a vote, and, well, luckily for us, is Khalida gonna go with, if not us?
That's true. It'll be all right, Hakan. It's crazy it sounds to say it. Crazy it is to hear it, but it will be all right.
Smiles and nods, looking a bit more
Yeah.
reassured.
Yeah, she pats his shoulder before taking her leave.
Now the real question, come on. Carmen, are you not gonna wanna sneak out and let the machine?
Oh, absolutely, I'm going to.
Wonderful. Why don't you give me a dexterity roll? See how far you can get.
Oh god, what's the difficulty here?
There is no
Just not
difficulty.
even apply one.
Abby, you just roll and we'll see how many successes you get.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Uh,
Well,
Lucky.
I don't even get a reroll.
that's Snake Eyes. Yeah, that's Snake Eyes. Not even the real option.
Yeah. As you head to it, as it starts, it like it smacks you immediately. Like as you expected one of the clubs to come down from an angle, and then like another one hit you from the back, and just kind of as you hear like behind you someone say, "Should not train alone. It only reinforces mistakes." You glance behind you and you see the old man staring at you.
I mean, to be fair, I was going to do it earlier, but I think my mom would have killed me harder than this thing ever could.
Does seem very protective. You wish to also embark on the path of the true warrior.
not entirely sure what that means. I mean, I could figure it out from context clues. I never
You
saw
see,
myself that way.
a child. Anyone can pick up a blade and kill people. It's very easy, in fact. A bit of practice, anyone can do it. With a bit more practice, can become one of the greatest killers around. And that would be it. There is no peak to cover, there is no greater height to achieve. In fact, at the end of that road, you'll realize you have instead of climbing up, you just have been digging down. True warrior defends others. The ideals of chivalry are not to harm, to defend. And only a master can defend others without making a single strike. Question is, do you want to embark on that path or not? Do you want to climb on the mountain instead of digging into the depths of it?
I mean, those are great ideals and all. It's just from my lived experience, ideals don't help you when you need to fight. Or they don't help you get money to pay for food at the end of the day.
Why don't
Sounds
we,
nice.
Why don't we go outside? Take a stroll down the streets.
Okay.
He'll sort of lead you out. As he sort of kind of walks down with you some of the darkest alleys around. Now, what you're about to see is gonna be. Maybe you shouldn't tell your mother about it, because she might try to poison me.
I think there's a lot of things I don't need to tell my mother about.
As you venture down a deep alleyway, you realize there's a man at the end, like completely covered in a kind of a cloak, hiding his face. You see a mask, kind of like a covering like his lower half. You can only see his eyes. As the gleam in the night is in fact coming from the blade in his hands, as he's like staring the two of you down. Charles sort of takes off his coat and gives it to you. Takes out his blade, puts it on you, and says, "This is what I'm trying to teach Jean. But he doesn't need to see this yet. Maybe you do." As the man at the end sort of takes a couple of steps forwards, and Charles looks at him and says, "Now, you assassins wouldn't harm a little girl, right?" As you glance behind you, Carmen, there's a second man.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As Charles sort of like cracks his knuckles and sort of straightens his back, as the two men will in fact try and ambush him from two different sides. And as they move, he bobs and weaves, he ducks, he sort of completely outmaneuvers them. And as they start like pressing their advantage, eventually start like slashing at him, cutting his arms. One of them sort of manages to land a deep cut on his leg. They are about to close in, and in that moment, he jumps, and as his jump happens, he uses his wings to amplify it as he lifts off above them, and they just collide in the middle as their blades sort of cut at one another. They sort of try and like stop, but they still kind of dig in a bit into one another as he sort of lands down just on their like fucking shoulders as he like pushes them away and sort of comes back down. And both of them look befuddled by this, as you can hear more noises coming from all around you. Charles says, those are the guards that are coming now. You two can either try and make your escape and try again next time, or you can be here arrested and most likely executed. As the two men wear something in a language you would recognize, Carmen, because you realize these two are in fact Slua. As they
I'll
both
play the stereotypes. Can I try and trip one of them?
Charles will just stop you. He just kind of puts a hand like, no.
Mm.
As the two of them run, and he says, this happens every week or so. You know what's the funny part? It's not always the same people. Leave losing morale. It started out with an assassin every night or two. Then it turned. Days became weeks, and assassins became, well, these two. They're the most resilient, I think, of their order.
Wait, so how did you know they would be here? And do you just come here every
Yes.
now and then and meet them?
Yes. Maybe
You're a little crazy, aren't you?
Maybe I am. But if they focus to try and kill me, that means they are stuck here. It's an endless cycle. Not killing others.
I mean, if they're losing morale, though, wouldn't they just move on to the next thing?
Well, eventually they'll move on, but as he like points to his cuts, why you give them a bit of hope now and then. I think next time they'll be a bit more. They don't usually get so close to killing me. Now I need to go and take some medicine because those blades were most likely poisoned.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna
let's
take
get
his
back.
coat, put it over his wounds, take his blade, and start walking back to the house.
Karma's gonna like run to catch up with him. Like, hey, so I don't know about the whole like way of like the true warrior, whatever it is that you said, but I want to move like that. I'm not super strong, but I want to be able to defend myself.
No,
No?
this is only for those that swear an oath of non-violence.
Fine, keep your secrets.
I'll be here if you change your mind. Although don't take too long. Age is what takes us out all in the end.
I don't know, you seem to be hanging in there.
Good diet and healthy exercise will keep you living long.
Right. I don't know if I have half of those, but I'll try to remember that.
Yeah. He'll chuckle and... Well, with that,